Hi. I'm here. So, I had an idea to help you fall asleep, since it's been a little hard. Um, how about the oldest trick in the book? An actual book. Well, it's one I'm reading. I've been reading it for a while, it's really big. And it's not fairy tales or anything, it's, myths from all over the world. Well, all the other ones, namely the fairy tale ones, are from my childhood, so they're all in Portuguese. So, if you want one of those, you're gonna have to warn me next time, because this is all I have on me right now. But I've picked one that I'm sure you've probably heard, but hopefully it'll be enjoyable nonetheless. It is the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice. It starts with a poem, so get comfy. It's not too long, but yeah, let's see how I do. This reminds me, when I was younger, my dad made me read books out loud and record myself to get better at it, It felt like hell, if I'm honest. But, never thought I'd be doing this myself, but here we are. Anything for you. Okay. I'm sorry if I stumble. There's some complicated words in here. Okay. Heavenly o'er the startled hell, holy where the accursed dwell, O Thracian, went thy silver song. Grim Minos, with unconscious tears, melts into mercy as he bears. The serpents in Megara's hair kiss as they wreathe enamored there. All harmless rests the madding throng. From the thorn beast the vulture mute flies, scared before the charmed lute. Lulled into sighing from their roar, the dark waves woo the listening shore. Listening the Thracian song, love was the Thracian silver song. It's called Triumph of Love. It's about them. Well, it's pretty depressing. But it's love. Sorry. The music of Orpheus was known across the lands. With his lyre he played the sweetest strains which lulled even the fiercest beasts into a peaceful rapture. For his music Orpheus was loved, and he traveled far and wide, issuing forth melodies that were pure, sublime. Orpheus was the son of Apollo and the muse Calliope. He lived in Thrace and spent his days singing, playing the music that spread his fame still further. One day, Orpheus came across a gentle and very beautiful young nymph, who danced to his music as if she was born to do so. She was called Eurydice, and wings seemed to lift her heels as she played and frolicked to his music. And then, when their eyes caught, it was clear that it was love at first sight, and that their destiny was to be shared. It was only a few days later that they joined in marriage, and never before had such an angelic couple existed. As they danced on the eve of their wedding, the very trees and flowers, the winds and rushing streams paused, and then shouted their congratulations. The world stopped to watch, to approve, to celebrate. Sorry. And then that most sinister of animals, a stealthy viper, made its way into the babbling midst and struck at the ankle of Eurydice, sending her to an icy instant death. Oh my god. No, yeah, that part, I never got that part. It's not, I don't know if that's how it works. Anyway, Eurydice sank down in the circle, and all efforts to revive her failed. Time seemed to stop. Certainly there was no music anywhere. Orpheus was disconsolate with grief. He could not even bring himself to bury her, and he played on his lyre such tunes that even the rocks, the hardened fabric of the caves, shed tears. After several days, he came to a decision which seemed at once as clear and as necessary as anything he had ever undertaken. Orpheus made his way to the underworld, determined to rescue his great love. That's some balls right there. his lyre in hand, his heart pounding with emotion, he reached the river Styx, the black waterway which snakes its way into the underworld, which divides the other world from our own. There he played his lute so tunefully, so eloquently, that Charon, the ferryman, took him across the river at no charge, granted access to a place into which no mortal must go. As Orpheus was drawn deeper into the underworld, grisly, frightening sights greeted his eyes, but he continued to play his soulful tune, filling with tears the eyes of those cast in wretched purgatory, the ghosts of beings who had done ill deeds, the spirits of men who had been cursed. He played on, his music seeping into the blackness and creating an effortless light which guided the way. At the end of his journey, King Hades and Queen Persephone sent, entranced by his music. They knew of his mission. They would allow him to take Eurydice. His music had unwound the rigors of their rules, of their laws, and momentarily appeased, temporarily relaxed, they permitted Orpheus to take one of their own. There was a condition, as there is in all such matters. Orpheus could have his bride returned to him. She would follow him as a shadow, but he must not look back on his trip from their world. The music from Orpheus's lyre picked up the timbre of his pleasure, and took on a jaunty character which brought a look of surprise to the stony faces of Hades' guards. Orpheus turned and made his way back to the Styx, to his world, to home and Eurydice. The gate of the underworld was in sight when Orpheus felt an overwhelming need to confirm that Eurydice was there. Instinctively, he turned towards his great love, and there she stood, shrouded in a dark cape. As he reached for her, just as he felt the warmth of her skin, her breath on his cheek, she vanished, back into death, into the darkened world of the afterlife. Orpheus left the underworld alone, and when he returned to his land, he lay broken and wasted on the shores of the Styx. For the rest of his short life, he wandered among the hills, carrying a broken lyre which he would not mend and could not play. He cared for nothing. He was attacked one day, without the powers to play, to appease his enemy. His attackers were a throng of Thracian women who killed him and tore him to pieces. His lyre was taken to Lesbos, where it became a shrine, and some years later his head was washed upon the shores of the island. There it was joined with his sacred lyre, its broken strings representing the forever broken heart of Orpheus.